Homeschooling. Although some people believe that homeschoolers will not amount to trying important in the long term, popularity of homeschooling appears to be growing in the culture. I will discuss the advantage and disadvantage of homeschooling. Homeschooling children are thought to lack social skills, and their parents have no time for themselves. On the other hand, homeschooling perfectly fits the child's needs, as valid equally to public schooling, and the strongest family bond. Additionally, unlike public schooling, homeschooling distresses rather than distresses children. The con of homeschooling. Skeptics often argue that homeschooled children do not obtain the social connection they require as their evidence. Best evidence is essential for youngsters to socialize and improve their communication abilities through their early stage of development. Children who study at home miss out on his chance and are more likely to struggle with socializing and friendship later in life. Another point of contention contain, contention is the cost of homeschooling. It makes no difference whether a parent of to teach their kids themselves to employ a tutor. Either way, their budget will be broken. A major consideration is that tutor's service will cost $30 to $40 per hour on average. The tutoring guide, part 1. A parent's tutoring will almost certainly have to leave their employment to do this. Apart from the financial investment, parents are likely to dedicate the majority of their time to homeschooling their children. They could eventually find themselves spending 24 hours a day with their children, with little time for solitude or privacy remaining. Although such parental involvement may not appear frightening in the short term, it may be stressful in the long run. In the long, in the long run, which is why some parents find themselves unable to cope. Pros of homeschooling. Those who support homeschooling argue that gives personalized, personalized education. The kids get the opportunity to study at their own pace, which may be slower and quicker than that or of other public school. True, each child unique and each child requirements are important. Still, in situations when children are unable to cope in public schooling setting, homeschooling may be the only option. The education process can be too tried to, to, to the requirements of the kids by the parents or tutoring, principally for the benefit of the young sister. To refute the parents' trust argument, admitting that homeschooling are more likely to have strong connection with their families defies logic. Families' relationship may be created and maintained for lifetime, provided parents are not exclusively when it comes to education activities. Parents may get to know their children better through education and measuring their process, which is the consource corn come strong and successfully parenting. Parent, parental engagement can also help to avoid violent and destructive behavior in teenagers and pre-teenagers, which is an important factor to consider when it comes to aggressive bullying is preventable as has ever been. Peer pressures persist despite the greatest effort of public school. In turn, homeschooling are spread of, of the misery and negatively that bullying entails. Consider stressing school kids who is attempting and failing to con- contract. Consider schooling in the warm, welcoming environment where kids welcoming environment. Consider hosting and failing. Welcoming environment where the kids like and respect in the way home in the way a homeschooled student not only has the opportunity to contract it, concentrate, have the opportunity to concentrate, but also to build it eventually and solid personality. Consider stressed school kids who is attempting and failing to contract, cons- concentrate. Consider schooling in the warm, welcoming environment where a kid is liked and respect. Finally, there is long list of institutions that welcome homeschoolers, which is great news. Bande homes, homeschooled students are accepted to study at a number of colleges and universities around the United States each year. In the conclusion, to sum up, it would be a mistake to claim that homeschooling is without flaws. Still, for some, the positive aspect may appear more important, and this may influence their discussion on how to educate their children. Whether you believe the advantage of homeschooling exceed the disadvantage, you must accept that the practice is feasible and likely to produce beneficial effort. Thank you.